wake up at 5 a.m., you journal, you meditate, you exercise, you read for 20 minutes, you review your goals. You do all of it before most people have opened their eyes, and your savings rate has not moved in 2 years. That is not a discipline problem. That is a direction problem. So here is the question this video is going to answer. Why is your morning routine not making you wealthy? Not because discipline is wrong, not because structure is wrong, not because waking up at 5 a.m. is wrong, because discipline applied to the wrong activities, however consistently, however rigorously, does not compound into wealth. Decisions do. Stay with this one. Because the third truth, the one about what the morning should actually be used for, is the one that changes the direction of all that discipline. 3 truths about the most celebrated productivity ritual in personal finance, and what to do instead. The first truth: you have been using discipline as a sub-range for decisions. Here is the mechanism behind the morning routine trap. Discipline produces a feeling, a specific, reliable, genuinely satisfying feeling of having done something hard before the day demanded anything of you. That feeling is real. It is not nothing. A disciplined morning, however it is structured, produces a genuine sense of control, agency, and forward motion that carries into the rest of the day. The problem is, what happens when that feeling is mistaken for financial progress? When the journal entry and the meditation session and the 5 a.m. alarm produce enough of a sense of doing the right thing, enough of a signal that you are someone who is building something, that the specific financial decisions that would actually produce that outcome feel less urgent. This is the substitution trap. The discipline substitutes for the decision. Not consciously, not through laziness, through the genuinely human tendency to satisfy a psychological need with the nearest available behavior. And the morning routine, with its structure and its effort and its measurable completion, satisfies the need to feel financially responsible without requiring the actual financial decision that would make it true. Now make this specific to your own mornings. Think about what your routine produces: the journal entries, the meditation minutes, the reading completed, the exercise logged. Now think about what it has not produced: the savings rate that has stayed at the same percentage for 2 years, the salary conversation that has been in the preparation phase for 4 months, the investment account that is still set to the same contribution level it was at when you opened it, the financial decision that keeps getting deferred to a quieter week. The routine produced a feeling. The feeling satisfied the need. The need never required the decision. And the decision, the specific, uncomfortable, high-return financial choice that would actually move the numbers, stayed in the queue while the routine continued delivering its reliable daily reward. The first truth: substitution. Discipline produces a feeling of progress. Decisions produce actual progress. When the feeling is enough, the decision never gets made. Your morning routine may be the most expensive feeling you have. The second truth: behavior without direction has no compounding effect. The routine is substituting for the decision. That is the first truth. But there is a second layer underneath it, one that explains why even disciplined people with strong routines can go years without the financial outcomes the discipline seems to promise. Here is the distinction that changes everything. Discipline is a capacity. Direction is where you point it. The same discipline that produces a 5 a.m. alarm and a completed journal and a 30-minute workout, pointed at a salary negotiation, produces $15,000 in additional annual income. Pointed at an investment allocation review, produces a portfolio better suited to your actual timeline. Pointed at a skill development program, produces an income premium that compounds across the rest of your career. Pointed at a morning routine, produces a morning routine, which is not nothing, but it is also not compounding. Here is the financial reality of discipline applied to behavior rather than decisions. Every habit you successfully maintain, the journaling, the meditation, the reading, the exercise, has a measurable impact on one category: your well-being. Well-being is valuable, genuinely. A healthier, calmer, more focused version of you makes better decisions. A well-rested, physically active version of you has more cognitive resources for the things that matter. That is the legitimate case for the morning routine, and it is a real case. But well-being does not compound in your investment account. Decisions do. And the distinction between someone whose discipline is producing financial outcomes and someone whose discipline is producing a feeling of financial virtue is not the quality of the routine. It is whether the discipline is directed at anything with a financial return. Now ask yourself the question that makes this real. In the last 12 months, what is the most financially significant decision your morning discipline produced? Not the journal entry, not the meditation minute, the decision. The salary conversation you had because you spent 4 early mornings preparing it. The investment contribution you increased because you spent a Tuesday morning reviewing your allocation. The career move you executed because you used 6 weeks of early mornings to research it. If the answer is vague, if the discipline has been producing well-being and structure without producing specific financial decisions, the capacity is there. The direction is missing. The second truth, direction. Discipline is the capacity. Direction is what determines whether that capacity compounds or simply circulates. Point the same energy at a financial decision, and the morning becomes worth what your discipline has always deserved. The third truth. Your morning is your highest fumbler cognitive window. Here is what it should actually be protecting. Here is what neuroscience consistently shows about the early morning hours. Decision-making quality is highest before cognitive depletion sets in. Willpower, judgment, creative problem-solving. These are finite resources that decline as the day makes demands on them. The morning is not valuable because 5 a.m. is magical. It is valuable because it is before the inbox, before the meetings, before the requests, before the decisions other people need from you, before the day has consumed the cognitive resources that belong to you. Which means the most financially significant thing you can do with a morning routine is not fill it with wellness behaviors. It is protect it for the financial decisions that require your best thinking. As we covered in Why Millionaires Think About Money Completely Differently, the highest value financial decisions require the same cognitive resources as the highest value professional decisions. They deserve the same protected time. Here is what that looks like in practice. 1 morning per week, not every morning, 1, where the first 60 minutes goes to a specific, defined financial decision or preparation. Not a general review, a specific decision. The salary negotiation you are preparing. 1 morning to research comparables, build the case, practice the language. The investment allocation you have been meaning to review. 1 morning to examine it, adjust it, automate the adjustment. The career move you have been researching. 1 morning to advance it by 1 specific, concrete step. That is 60 minutes per week, 52 weeks, 52 financial decisions or decision preparation sessions per year, each made with your best cognitive resources before the day depleted them. Now ask the closing question directly. What is the one financial decision you have been deferring? The one that has been in the preparation phase long enough that you know the preparation is not the obstacle. Give it 1 morning this week. Not the whole morning. 60 minutes. Before the journal, before the meditation, before anything that produces a feeling without a decision. The discipline is already there. The capacity exists, pointed at the one decision that has been waiting for it. Every video on this channel starts with why. Why your biggest financial problem is not money. Why patience is the most misunderstood financial virtue. Why you keep making the same money mistakes. Every assumption you are handed about what building wealth requires. Questioned. If this video made you open your calendar and block one morning this week for a specific financial decision, that is exactly where it was supposed to land. Remember this: your morning routine is not the problem. The absence of a financial decision inside it is. Protect one morning per week for the decision that has been waiting longest. The discipline you already have is enough. It just needs a different direction.